Imagine a world where the medicine you rely on could suddenly vanish because of a storm or flood. It might sound like a far-fetched scenario, but this is the reality America's pharmaceutical supply chain faces today. A groundbreaking study has exposed just how precarious the situation truly is, and it's a wake-up call for policymakers, healthcare providers, and patients alike. But here's where it gets controversial. Should we accept these vulnerabilities as inevitable? Or is there a way to future-proof our drug supply chain against the growing threat of climate change? The researchers behind this eye-opening investigation used data from the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, to map out the sprawling network of drug manufacturing facilities across the United States. Their focus? A 6-year period spanning from 2019 to 2024. Within this time frame, they identified a staggering 10,861 facilities actively involved in various stages of drug production. These stages include everything from analyzing raw materials and synthesizing active ingredients to packaging finished products ready for distribution. Each step plays a crucial role in ensuring that life-saving medications reach those who need them. But what happens when nature intervenes? To answer this question, the team examined whether any federally declared weather emergencies occurred in the counties housing these facilities. Weather-related disasters included wildfires, hurricanes, severe storms, tornadoes, and floods, events that are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change. The results were alarming. Over the 6-year span, a whopping 6,819 facilities, or 63% of the total, were affected by at least one weather-related emergency. On an annual basis, approximately 2,146 facilities, accounting for about 1/3 of all U.S. drug manufacturing sites, found themselves grappling with the fallout from extreme weather events. Interestingly, the study debunked one potential assumption. Drug facilities aren't disproportionately located in areas prone to climate-related disasters. In other words, the problem isn't that manufacturers deliberately chose risky locations for their plants. Instead, the sheer frequency and unpredictability of weather emergencies mean that no region is entirely safe. This revelation raises an important question. If even ordinary locations face significant risks, how can we safeguard the nation's drug supply? And this is the part most people miss: the cascading effects of a disrupted supply chain. Consider this. If a single plant produces 60% of the country's supply of a critical medication, a flood or hurricane knocking out that facility could leave millions without access to essential treatments. Such scenarios highlight the dangers of relying on fragile, overly centralized systems. While efficiency often drives companies to concentrate production in specific locations, this approach creates dangerous bottlenecks that can have catastrophic consequences during emergencies. The authors of the study issued a stark warning, emphasizing the urgent need for action. They argue that recognizing climate-related vulnerabilities must become a top priority for the pharmaceutical industry and regulators. Specifically, they recommend 3 key strategies. Improving supply chain transparency so stakeholders know exactly where drugs are made and stored. Strategically diversifying production to reduce reliance on individual facilities, and implementing robust disaster risk management plans to mitigate disruptions before they occur. So where do we go from here? Should governments step in to mandate stricter regulations, or should private companies take the lead in addressing these challenges? And perhaps most importantly, how much responsibility should consumers bear in advocating for a more resilient system? These questions deserve thoughtful debate, and your input matters. Do you think enough is being done to protect America's drug supply chain from climate-related threats? Or are we headed toward a crisis that could have been avoided? Share your thoughts in the comments below.